Greetings everyone, Ben here from The Virtual Economist and welcome to a new video. As some of you guys may have noticed, we recently hit 50,000 subscribers on the channel, which is a massive milestone. I think it goes without saying, but I wanted to thank everyone for supporting me over the years by watching and enjoying my videos. It really means a ton to me, and I can't get over how cool it is to have a hobby as fun and rewarding as making videos for you guys. To help celebrate 50K, I've decided to do something that I haven't done in over 4 years, which is host a questions and answers video. As such, last week I asked you guys on YouTube and Discord for some questions, and I'm going to go ahead and answer them in this video. Now, even if this is the type of video you might normally skip or turn off halfway through, I strongly recommend that you guys watch the whole thing. I actually have a couple of pretty insane surprises and announcements in the video that I think you guys are not going to want to miss. Alright, so without further ado, let's get right on into the Q&A. Alright, so the first question here coming in is, are we going to be getting a face reveal? Now, I've definitely considered doing a face reveal for a really long time, but the way I make my videos, I really don't think there's much point to doing a face cam, so I've never really gotten around to doing it. That said, we've reached 50,000 subscribers, and I know a lot of you guys have been wanting this for a really long time, so I figured I would actually reveal my face right here, right now. 3, 2, 1. So yeah, this is what I look like. Now, I don't know necessarily what you guys expected I would look like, so I'm really curious to see what you guys think in the comment section below. Am I exactly like what you pictured, or am I completely different? I don't know. So I would love to hear your guys' feedback. But anyway, so we're just going to do the rest of this video with a webcam on. So hi, everyone. This is me. All right. So the next question, this is definitely like the most asked question. Everyone wanted to know. People wanted to ask me what made me become a trader in TF2. So I actually told this story in my Q&A video I made like 4 years ago, but I'm assuming most of you guys haven't actually watched that because it's super freaking old. So yeah, so I was actually like first introduced to TF2 through trading, which is a little weird because I think most people discovered TF2 as the game. But I actually knew this guy in high school, and he kept like, I don't know, he kept coming around talking to me, like telling me about how he's making like 10 buds profit on like some unusual team captain. I obviously had no idea what he was talking about because like I didn't know what TF2 was at the time, but I was interested because in the past, I'm a big Magic the Gathering player and I traded a lot in that game. So like, I thought that was really cool that you could trade virtual items just like you could trade Magic cards. So I asked him, what it was, and he told me it was Team Fortress 2. And eventually, I ended up downloading the game, and I started, just playing the game because I thought it was fun. But at the back of my mind, I always thought like, oh, maybe I'll go back and trade like him because that sounded really fun. One problem with Magic trading is that you literally had to be at a physical card store in order to trade with people. So the fact that you could trade in TF2, like, in real time, essentially, like at any time of the day, was really intriguing to me. So eventually I ended up playing TF2 just like as a regular game for maybe like 3 or 4 months. And then like, I think it was January or February of 2015, I decided to officially get into trading. And so I basically did a scrap to unusual. I don't think I necessarily started from a scrap, maybe like a couple refined. Like I just scrapped all of the weapons I had in my inventory. But from there, I did my scrap to unusual. And I did that in like a couple months, and then from there, I was trading. All right, so the next question here comes in from Norgap. Assuming you're in college or university, what course do you take? I'm guessing something to do with economics. So I am a college student, but I think a lot of you guys think that I'm majoring in economics, which is actually not true. I'm actually majoring in computer science. I think economics is pretty cool. And to be honest, if I wasn't studying computer science, I would definitely be studying economics. But like, TF2 and TF2 trading is still like really influenced my decision to do computer science, just like maybe it would have influenced my decision to do economics, because there's so much in TF2 that's like item pricing and, data science kind of things. There's a lot of inspiration for me to like get better at computer science, because then there's so many cool things I can do with TF2. Like if you guys saw my unboxing video, that was pretty much me just putting all the stuff I'd learned in class into one video. And I think it turned out pretty good. It took way too freaking long. I would never do it again. But I mean, I do think it was really rewarding to just see it all come together and really be able to apply all the programming stuff I had learned to something I was really passionate about. So the next question is pretty similar. What do you do outside of the channel? Are you a student or have a job? Any other hobbies on the side? And then congratulations on 50K. So thank you. So outside of the channel, I am a student full-time. I'm a third year in college right now, as I said before. This summer, I actually do have a job. I was able to, luckily, really get an internship, a virtual internship with Amazon this summer. So I'm going to be starting that tomorrow, and we'll see how it goes. I know that you guys might be really concerned that that's going to impact videos, but I'm optimistic. I think that having like a structure, like a 9 to 5 kind of job, like make sure that I'm always staying on topic. What I've learned from quarantine is that if you have no structure to your day, you're really going to get nothing done. So I feel like when I'm done with my work, I'll be really motivated to do videos and I'll make good use of the time I have. So yeah, that's what's going on with that. Any other hobbies on the side? Like I said before, I'm really big into Magic the Gathering. I'm actually probably more into that than TF2. But that doesn't mean I don't like TF2. I'm actually the president of my college's Magic Club. Roska Mihai asks, how many hours do you need to work to make a video done on average? Yeah, so this is really freaking long. It's usually like at least 20 hours, maybe 40, 20, 30, 40. In other words, just way too much. The next question is from Overseer. Why is the channel so good? See my previous answer. I spend too much time on videos. The next question here from Crazy Conk. What is your favorite item you've traded for, and have you ever traded it away? So in retrospect, I think probably the item I enjoyed the most that I had was a Bonzo the All-9 Dr. Dapper's Topper. It was just an amazing all-class, and everyone knows that Bonzo is an amazing effect. But to be honest, I think in retrospect, I think I may overvalue the unusual a little bit, because these days Bonzo is impossible to obtain. Literally, like, people are just marking up the worst robo hats. Like, you can't get Bonzo the All-9 for less than like 250 keys. I think I ended up selling that hat. I don't have it anymore. I sold it for around like 300 keys in mix, which I thought was really good at the time. But nowadays I could probably get at least 500, but I probably wouldn't even want to sell it because it was just so cool. On an unrelated side note, I don't know if you guys remember, but in 2016, Pyro Joe had a 1-of-1 Bonzo the All-9 virtual viewfinder. Like, holy shit. That's probably like the best unusual in the entire freaking game at this point. He doesn't have it anymore, but it's locked away in a collector's backpack. But like, holy shit. You can tell how much prices have changed since then. The next question here from Some Sissy. Have there ever been moments when you thought about quitting TF2 entirely? Not really. To be honest, like, I've taken a lot of breaks from TF2 and YouTube, which you guys have obviously been able to tell through my horrible upload schedule, because of school, because I didn't want to do both of them at the same time. I just figured, if I'm only going to be in college for 4 years, I wanted to maximize my time there. And because of that, whenever I come home for summer, and I have more time to make videos, I'm always really inspired to get back into it. And I honestly am like not really running out of video ideas or anything. So no, I don't think I've ever thought about quitting TF2 entirely, although there are some times where I've been a little bit frustrated with videos and trading and, it happens. But taking breaks, that's really the big one. Like, just take breaks, and then TF2 will be really fresh when you come back. The next question here from Sub-Zero Destruction, and a couple other people asked this, I think. Your thoughts regarding TF2 in general, the trading scene, the bot issue, the future of it, etc. So, to be honest, I think it's clear, like, there's a lot of naysayers, but TF2 will never die. I don't think it ever will be, and nor do I really see trading dying. The bot issue obviously is unfortunate. I don't actually play casual enough to get triggered by it, so maybe I'm not the best person to ask about this, but I don't think it's game breaker, and I think that it'll eventually all be patched up and it'll be fine. But honestly, even if TF2 doesn't get another major update, the game's still going to live on. People are still going to play it. Players and creators are going to come and go. So, like, you can't get mad that, like, Homogeneo is taking a break from TF2, because people only have so much time they're going to spend on the game. So, yeah, it's not going to die. And I think the future, even without updates, is still pretty bright. And I think, just got to live with our current circumstances. Action Affection 65 asks, are you a human or a virtual robot who works with the economy? And if you are you designed by the US government? I'll let you guys decide on that one. This next pair of questions, everyone was asking. This is definitely the second most asked type of question. And what is the worst and best trades that you've made? So I think the best trade is pretty clear. This was included in my Halloween 2016 video, which I made in 2016, so a long time ago. But back then, they first added unusual fires to the game. And because unusual fires were added, and there were so many new taunts that had been added since their first original taunts, you could get unusual fires for taunts that had no unusuals yet in the game. And so I got an unusual fire for a second race sorcery taunt, and I applied it, and I got a Holy Grail. And, like, the next day I sold it to a collector for like 200 keys pure, which is absolutely ridiculous today because taunts are so cheap. Like I think that taunt is less than 10 keys now. Even at the time, I don't think I spent more than like 25 keys on it. So it was just like 175 keys pure profit. Like that's insane. I think the worst trade I've done, there's definitely two that come to mind. The first is another taunt trade. Back when taunts were crashing, someone sold me their Holy Grail Zoomin' Broomin' taunt for 50 keys pure, currently priced at 135 keys. I thought like conservatively it would drop to maybe 80 keys or something. So I bought it for 50 pure. The unusual hasn't left my inventory. It's like 20 keys. So horrible loss of profit there. But the other trade I regret is actually a little bit different. It was like I completely made profit, but like I just didn't want to sell the item. Back like in 2017, I think I picked up a bubbling polar pullover, which is a misc bubbling effect. And it looks so good with all my frostbite hats. So I love the hat. And I just had it in my inventory for a long time. I didn't have it listed for sale. And some guy like this fall added me and said he'd pay 165 keys pure on it. And so I was like, holy shit, that's a really good offer. So I took it. But like then I started like regretting it because I really liked that misc. I eventually did get it back, but I spent 215 keys pure on it, which is horrible, I think. But like he'll never leave my inventory now. And nobody will ever get another one, I don't think, ever again, because all four are now locked up in collector's backpacks. So I don't know. What are some behaviors you can't stand in trading? I mean, if you guys watch my my trade server stereotypes video, I went over a lot of them. But to be honest, the one thing that really pisses me off is people that like are on my friends list and they add me and they say, hey, you want to offer on my unusual? And most of the time their unusual is really bad and I like have no interest whatsoever in it. And so like, why would I go out of my way to offer on it? What they should do is say, hey, I have this unusual, let me make an offer first, because I'm like, if their offer is good, I'll accept it. But like, I'm not going to make the first offer on an unusual I really don't care about. So definitely people like expecting me to make the first offer on their bad unusuals. How did you decide on the name Virtual Economist? Is there any sort of special reason or story behind it? I mean, not really a story. Honestly, I don't even know. Like, it just popped into my head at some point, and I thought it sounded really cool and professional. So, I went with it. In retrospect, though, I think it's a little bit long. I think if I was doing it over again, I'd pick something a little bit short and more easy to remember. Because, like, for example, you can already tell from this comment that, like, technically my name is The Virtual Economist, but it's so long the guy just put Virtual Economist. So, like, people call me Virtual Economist, The Virtual. Like, if it was shorter, I think people would just call me one thing and be a little bit more congruent. Who do you think is most bannable in the server? So this is obviously in reference to my Discord server. I mean, I think it's pretty obvious. I'm not going to ban them, but like if I was to, I would ban Blitzkrieg and Trader 482. If you're on the server, you know exactly what I'm talking about. I would ban them. This next question, I was surprised I got asked so much. I got it asked 3 times. People are asking me, like, do I have a favorite book or what books do I read? I don't actually read that much, so I can't claim necessarily to have a favorite book. But currently, I'm actually reading The Dark Forest, which is the second book in a Chinese science fiction series about alien contact. It's actually really good and it has some really crazy ideas in it. So I would definitely recommend it to anyone who wants to read any fiction or science fiction. If Gil hired you to work on backpack.tf, what features/changes would you implement first? Back in my 2017 series about the key to refined ratio, I had a whole video talking about how I didn't like that backpack.tf represented the price of every item in the game using refined metal instead of keys. The whole thing is kind of complicated and it might not make sense unless you watch the video, but what I would do is fix that so that backpacks are not like randomly going up and down in value or like decrease. Because if you go back to look at your old inventories from like 5 years ago, it's completely inaccurate, the price estimates, because their pricing is messed up. So I would fix that. On a similar vein, if you're somehow able to become a Valve employee and started work on TF2, what would be the first thing you would change? I don't know, maybe this is cheating, but I would just say sell TF2 to a company that actually has a bottom line. I think that like literally any other company besides Valve would make TF2 updates because it's profitable. And I think Valve is literally the only company out there dumb enough not to update TF2 because they're just sitting on a bag of cash. So the next question is another one from Dude826, and they ask, do you have any siblings? Yeah, how's the video coming? You know what? It was coming pretty good until you decided to ruin my take. So yeah, if you haven't been able to put 2 and 2 together, I have an identical twin brother. So I have one sibling, and that's him. And the crazy thing is, you guys probably, some of you at least, may already know him. That is because he's actually known by Zergoif in the TF2 trading community. He's a mod on my Discord server. I feel like there's a million other things that have been clear evidence that he's my brother, but people just haven't picked up on him. My old mod, Quasemo, he got the closest. He was really odd to us, but yeah. So anyway, I do have a twin brother. His name is Andy, but he goes by Zergroith in the TF2 trading community. And actually, if you look at his backpack, he is way better of a trader than I am at this point. I think, as they say, you learn from the best. But yeah, that's, I guess, fun fact of the day. So when I said earlier that the most asked question was how did you get into TF2 trading, I actually lied. That wasn't the most asked question. The most asked question was, are you going to do another trading series? And historically, I've always said no. I didn't have the time. But I'm going to make an announcement that I think you guys are all going to be very happy with. I am actually going to make another trading series in 2020. So I'm actually going to be a lot like Valve on this. I don't want to give away too much because then I'm basically going to be committed to doing it a certain way. But I am going to say that there is a trading series coming and you guys should get excited for it. It'll be sometime in the summer, maybe July or August when I release the first episode. But I actually have some other videos I'm working on now. So those will come first and then I will start on the trading series. So everyone get hyped for that. And without further ado, thanks for watching.